chase the referral and not the deal. I think a lot of agents, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
They're chasing the deal. They want the commission check at the end of the deal. But then sometimes they do things unethically to get it and not realize what the consequences are.
Hi, I'm Maud Leger, and I'm on a mission to empower realtors with cutting-edge insights, success stories, and actionable strategies from the top minds in real estate. Welcome back to the Sold Right Away podcast. And in this episode series, we solve real estate marketing challenges in real time, unlocking modern marketing success for the real estate industry. And that's why I've brought on Tara Alkhalisi today from Home Realty. Tara's been a realtor for 13 years. She's been building a team for the last year, and she's here to share today how she's chasing referrals and not transactions. Hi, Tara. It's great to see you, and thank you for joining me today. Welcome to the Sold Right Away podcast.
Thank you, Maud, for having me.
Tell us a little bit more about you. How did you become a realtor? What's your background?
So I started 13 years ago.
Amazing.
Before that, I was an environmental consultant. And my first job was an overseas assignment with the UN. And then I came back and worked for a few local municipalities doing waste management. But I always had the interest in real estate. So after work, I'd come home and spend hours on MLS. And that's when I thought, okay, I think it's time to get my license.
Wow. What a background. You and environmental and then real estate. What made you decide other than just wanting to look at MLS all the time?
So other than, just interests in homes in general, and I always like to learn about different neighborhoods and different price trends and what's happening in the market. And I also like helping people. So I just thought the two together, I think will be good. And I initially thought I was going to do it part-time. And then I got my license and I had a lineup of clients and then I got right into it.
Nice. I love those stories when realtors think they're going to do it part-time and then it just turns into a huge deal. I love it.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's difficult to be a part-time realtor because, we work around the clock and I don't think it's doable. Clients need to be able to reach you at any time, 7 days a week. So it worked out.
Yeah. And then your background is so different. So I always like to ask, what from your previous career did you bring to real estate that helped you to be successful?
So I would say time management.
Right. Yeah.
In the real estate field, we're always dealing with tight deadlines. We have to work with sellers' deadlines on when a house has to go on the market, their financial needs, and when they need to sell, when they need to buy. I deal a lot with newcomers who are new to Canada and they have a really tight time frame to look for homes. So I think I really have to manage my time really well. And of course, I'm not dealing with one client, I'm dealing with several. So that's one. And I think just professional and strong work ethics and those skills
that you brought over. That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
And what was a defining moment for you where you were a realtor, like now for 13 years? At what point did you say, that's what I'm going to do for the next little while?
I think right away. Right away. Yeah. Because I had clients who were old friends, I guess.
Yeah.
And they know how serious I am as a person, and I take my job really seriously. So when they heard that I was getting my license, some of them said, "We'll wait until you get your license." And that's when we're buying our first home. So, and then through those small circle of friends, it was 100% repeat and referral.
Wow.
So for 13 years, it was strictly that.
I love it.
And you'd never think that it's going to work this way because a lot of people try to market themselves otherwise, but it worked for me and I'm very grateful for that.
Such an amazing story. I love it. I love it too that you mentioned you were becoming a realtor before you were a realtor. That's a big mistake that people don't do. They keep it a secret. Then they start struggling as they get their license, but you did the right way with mentioning it before.
Yes, yeah, I noticed that a lot. I had a few clients who became realtors and a few friends as well. And only after the fact, they would talk about it. And I think, why not start marketing yourself ahead of time?
Look at you. It's proven to be a success because you had a lineup of people. That's amazing.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
What would be one lesson that you have learned in 13 years that made you achieve success?
The one lesson, you have to be very, very patient.
Mhm.
It doesn't always go, any transaction doesn't go as smooth as it would be. Some are,
Yeah.
but sometimes until the very, very last minute, things could go wrong, and you really have to adjust. And with experience, the more experience, the more you can counsel your clients and adjust. And it needs a lot of patience, so you
Patient
can't give up.
to play with all the moving parts.
Definitely, yeah.
How was your personal growth benefited in your career?
Personal growth. So I always, on a weekly basis, attend seminars,
Love it.
info sessions,
Yeah.
lawyers. I like listening to lawyers speak
Okay.
and learning different case studies, things that have gone wrong. So this is how, no matter how many years you're in the industry, there's always room to grow and room to learn, and that's how I benefit myself and my
And your
clients.
clients. Yeah, yeah, that's huge. What would be one key to your success? What is a key to your success?
The key to my success. I thought this would be an easy question. I guess I'm just thinking now from a client's perspective. If I were to ask my clients, I would think they would say that I'm professional and I'm honest and very dedicated and passionate about what I do. And they see that. And I always put their needs first before mine.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's like all those, and of course, very knowledgeable because
Yeah, I
again,
was going to say also your experience and knowledge, like from doing that research that you do. So, yeah.
yes, yeah. So I think all those skills, I would say.
What is the one thing that you have learned that made an impact in your business that brought you success?
The one thing I learned from my business,
Or experience or background that brought you success?
I would say consistency.
Ah, okay.
So, you're, no matter how busy you get, you always have to continue doing what you usually do
Yeah.
to get clients, to be in touch with older clients. And sometimes I see with realtors, they get so busy that they kind of forget what got them the business in the first place.
Yes. Yes.
So I would say just being consistent. It's always, I work every single day, at least 8 to 12 hours a day. Like it's no matter how busy I am, I'm always working. So if it's not on active listings, it's on potential listings, or even if I don't have potential listings, it'll be working on myself.
What is your non-negotiable in your business? Something that you feel is your non-negotiable part of your consistency that you must do for you to achieve success?
Just the connection with the clients, the continuous connection with the clients, even though they're past clients, I would say this is something I do just because I enjoy being in touch with them.
Okay.
And I think that really helps.
Nice. I love
Yeah.
it.
Sometimes I hear stories of people buying a house and then you ask them who their realtor was and they even forget their first name. So I would, I would hate for that to happen. So, yeah, definitely this is one thing that I continue doing.
After the fact, so that you keep it, you're top of mind too after.
Exactly, exactly. And I'm still in touch with my clients who sold and purchased 13 years ago.
Wow.
And they still use me, and they still refer clients.
That's success right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. What do you have like business processes? What would be like procedures, systems, or things you implemented in your business?
So last year, I created my team. So I had help behind the scenes for a few years, but last year it was official.
Nice.
And it was part of me not being able to let go and that I wanted to do everything. And a lot of my clients only wanted to deal with me. So that was the hard part.
Yeah.
So I really had to work hard to be able to let go and delegate and trust other people to help me. So now we're a team of four
Amazing.
and it's going really well so far. It's almost a year. So
Congrats. Yeah, that's
thank you.
amazing. It's growth. It's a great success story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get more leads now that you have a team, or how do you work the other than getting referrals, like how do you get more leads for your team?
So there are leads that come through the listings.
Yeah.
And again, it's for me, it's mostly repeat and referral. But the last year as well, when I created my team, I started on social media. I didn't exist on social media before. So I decided to try something new. And I think that might be potential for leads as well to
Yeah,
me and my team members.
for sure. Yeah. Well, now that brings me to your marketing segment of the podcast, which is a question about what have you done in terms of marketing that worked really well for you?
So I would say I think social media would be something that I've implemented. I've also started doing the videos for my listings. And so potential clients will see me and not just the property. So I think that helps as well.
Yeah. And what would be a challenge in terms of marketing, something that is not working or that you want help with or support?
So I think the biggest challenge would be just standing out in a crowded market. As you know, there are probably around 100,000 realtors in Ontario, and a lot of them are in the GTA. So I think that's probably the biggest challenge is just how to stand out and how to continue always trying to evolve. And
Anything that worked or didn't work in trying that?
so far the social media is going well. I haven't tried anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
good.
one step at a time.
Yes, exactly. I've seen like people with challenges like that. I guess we take it one step at a time where we evaluate like how do you stand out? Like what is your superpower? Or like for you, how professional you are, or what would be your strategic plan behind your social media. So I think that's great to go through that. To when you start on social media, you just want to do posting, or we talked about like events or quotes or what is it, but then the next step is how do you go deeper about it and how do you relate to the people you want to do business with. And I think that's how you can stand out.
Yes, it's very important to get out, attend events, host
Yeah.
events,
Yeah.
volunteer at your kids' schools, at a food bank, join a sport, be part of a sports team. That's also part of marketing, I guess.
To have like, because you're marketing yourself, so your face has to be out there, so your presence, like you say, at events, sports, schools, and people will start recognizing you and your brand.
Yeah, I think that's very important.
Yeah. And as you're building a team, you want people to still relate to your name as the trust, the professional, the knowledge that you bring to the table. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we noticed recently on my social media pages that when I'm showcasing those events or local events, I
Yeah.
get much more interaction from followers and lots of interest, lots of shares than actually marketing a house. So it was just something that we tried and we thought, oh, okay, the response is different.
More personal. It's more you than trying to sell, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's always good to try different things and to see what works.
You see what works. Yeah. And then in terms of innovate, you mentioned that's a point too. How do you keep innovating? I guess for you was the videos that are phenomenal, every new listing, and you've been getting the most beautiful listings. I,
Thank you. Thanks.
yeah. So how else do you think about innovation when you think of your business?
So I guess it's always what can I do? What's the maximum that I could do to market this listing? And I try to do it all so that the client doesn't say, oh, well, so and so did this or so and so did that. So whatever it takes,
Yeah.
whether it's the photography, a lot of agents hire photographers, but do they all do the same thing? No. Do they all do drone photography, for example? Or so you always have to do more to make the homes or the listings stand out. So it's pretty much everything you guys offer. So all the different packages with the photography, the videos, you have so many different video options, your brochures, your signs, your open house signs. It's pretty much utilizing everything, sold right away offers.
Nice, nice. Yeah. And then in terms of leveraging your listings, like you mentioned, you do that other than sold right away helping you. How else do you get the listing out there? How do you leverage? Because you have listings that you can leverage to get your next listing.
So again, signs, open houses, social media, and I attend our office weekly meetings. I think I've ever missed one. We have them every Monday morning, and I make sure that I block my schedule to attend those. Almost every week, I have new listings, and I market it to the meeting. And then the office will send a mass mail out to all the 700 agents in our office. And so they all get to see the listings as well. I'm also part of a number of WhatsApp groups, Realtor WhatsApp groups.
Love it.
And so I have these e-flyers that I market to all of those as well.
Yeah, I think you're doing phenomenal, it's a great story to share for other realtors who are starting or looking how to leverage their listings or leverage their business, really. Nice. And we have a rapid fire segment of the podcast where I ask you a bunch of questions. Some of them you already went through, but let's give it a go.
Okay.
So what is your number one business process that you cannot live without?
I guess keeping in touch with clients.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it.
Current and past clients.
Yeah. What is your best marketing strategy?
Again, connecting to clients.
Yeah.
That's my number one thing. It's worked for me, so I stick to it.
Yeah. Well, do not change something that works. So I love it. Connecting, building your relationship, nurturing your database. These are great. Yeah. Amazing. It sounds so simple to you, but to other realtors learning, it's not. It could be a key revelation to them. So
100%. And I see how people would kind of forget about that because they get occupied with their day-to-day activities or with active listings and then forgetting what happened in the past.
True. Very good advice. What is your best social media tactic?
So I'm trying different things in the past year. I think I did a poll actually just yesterday asking my followers what works. And I think 80% says a bit of everything. They'd like to see a bit of, some real estate news, some informative videos, local events. And tips, frequently asked questions. So I'm doing those and I think it seems to be working so far.
Love it. Love it. Love the research behind it and the poll. It works. What is your most effective social media platform?
I like Instagram. I think that's the one that I regularly check, actually. And I get the most interaction from Instagram compared to Facebook or LinkedIn.
Love it. For you, what is your top income generating activity?
Just getting out, attending events, meeting old clients, visiting old clients.
Yeah. And now that you have a team, I guess, and as you're mentoring them or helping them through their business, what would you say is a non-income generating activity that other realtors should drop?
Paper mail. From my environmental background, I don't like paper mail.
I love it. Full circle back to the beginning of your career. Yes. Okay. Love it.
It might have worked for some agents because I still get stacks and stacks from the same realtors.
Yes.
I ask around. I don't know. It might work for them. I don't know. But it was never something I tried. Never something I would think of trying. And
I love it. That's your advice. And it's true to you. Your environmental
Yes.
background forces you to say no. Love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And especially now that we have other options like social media, then
How do you win more listings?
I guess it's every successful transaction helps to get a new listing.
Love it.
So
Yeah.
it's the way I've handled the transaction.
Yeah.
For example, if people come in through an open house and they see how I've conducted the open house, different process, talking to me, meeting my team, I think every time they see something successful, then that helps bring another transaction.
Yeah. Way to leverage your listings, right? Like having a full successful transaction. I love it. What is a quote or a saying that keeps you motivated?
It's a coach. It's by a coach called Ben Osterville, and he says, which is what I always believed from day one, and it worked. Chase the referral and not the deal.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. So, and I think a lot of agents, it's the other way around. They're
Yeah.
chasing the deal. They want, it's the commission check at the end of the deal. But then they don't and then, sometimes they do things unethically to get it and not realize what the consequences are. So if, as Ben says, if you're chasing the referral and not the deal, then, the mindset completely changes. And remember when he said that, I remember the story a while back, maybe 10 years ago. I had a client or a potential client who wanted to look for a condo apartment beside a college.
Okay.
And it was all apartment buildings. And those apartment buildings, obviously, they don't deal with realtors, they don't give a commission. And I took him from one apartment building to another because I just wanted to help him. And it wasn't just, I wasn't getting anything out of it, but it came through a referral. He needed that help. And I helped him out. And again, it's the referral and not the deal.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Love it.
and I have a lot of many stories like that, but yeah, this was one that I remembered.
Where you knew you were not going to make money, but you were doing the right thing to help.
Because at the end, what's my goal? A
Yeah.
happy client who has found a house, right? So, yeah.
This is so inspiring for realtors right now. And I guess what is the best advice you've ever received?
I mentioned this before, the consistency.
Yeah.
I think so, regardless of your workday, to continue being focused. And because we could easily be distracted, we're all self-employed,
Yeah.
and it's so easily to be distracted. So when you're focused, time blocking works for me. And I think a lot of people should do that. So, you want things done, then you're blocking 3, 4, because the phone doesn't stop ringing. And if you want things done, then you really have to
Focus. Everyone has their own definition of success. How do you define success for yourself?
I would say when I know that I have one of the best reputations out there, I think to me that's what defines success. When you meet people and you meet strangers, and some strangers say, "Oh, we've heard of you." The other thing is when I get the monthly notifications from the office saying, "Oh, you're top 10 out of 700 agents." So it's like it puts things into perspective because I remember when I first started. So I would say my first award was 10 years ago or 11 years ago. So it was 2 years into the
2 years
business.
in.
I got my first award, and then it was 11 awards like consecutive after that. But it was always like top 10%, top 5% brokerage wide, which is like 6,000 agents.
Wow.
So that's when I got those awards, I felt, oh, okay, so I'm doing something right. Because, when you're just on your own and you're focused and you're doing your day to day, you don't realize, okay, is this considered good or not?
Yeah.
But once you start getting them and it's in perspective and they give you the percentile, you're thinking, okay, I guess I just continue to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's a great point. You're seeing the success, which tells you what you're doing is great. What is one piece of advice you would leave to and other realtors out there to help them?
I would say that I've given this advice to a few realtors and they've come back to me and said, we listened to you and it worked,
Amazing.
is to take the leases seriously. like, because a lot of agents think leases are a waste of time, and they don't like doing them. But I think they have to be done
Yeah.
because those tenants could eventually potentially buy. And then it's again, you're chasing the referral and not the deal.
Yeah.
So I have done hundreds and hundreds of leases. Like sometimes it's one lease a week. So that's a lot of work because they do take a lot of time. And sometimes the paperwork involved with the lease is much more than a purchase or sale.
Yeah.
So and a lot of realtors avoid leases, but if they change their mindset and look at it as in, you know what, I'm meeting a new client. This
Yeah.
is my opportunity to shine and show what I have to offer, and they might come back to me for other transactions or they might refer. And so I think if realtors change their mindset about that, I think they would probably enjoy doing leases more.
Yes. Because then you think of like, how many deals can you do through leases to potential if you do a great job, like you said, have a successful transaction and keep connection after the fact, then you'll get business down the line.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And if they're looking at it as, oh, it's a waste of time and it's not worth it, then I don't know, they're in the wrong business, I guess. Yeah.
If they're thinking it's a waste of time, then it will be a waste of time because nothing will come of it because they don't care. So totally, I love it. This is such a great advice. Amazing. And then where do we find you on Instagram? What's your Instagram handle?
So it's Tara.Homes.
Perfect. Amazing. We're going to go look at everything that you're posting, the poll from your people, and your videos that are super awesome.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. It was great, super inspiring for realtors, I'm sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Mo. Thank you so much for the invitation. And it's definitely an honor to chat with you.
Thanks for tuning in to Sold Right Away. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you listen to your podcast. If you're ready to take your real estate career to the next level, visit us at Sold Right Away for more resources and support. Until next time, keep closing and keep growing.